and start cruising some more here on our final day in South Florida. We're all checked out of the hotel. And there's a string of showers and thunderstorms right off the coast. And that's what you're seeing there on the horizon ahead of us. We're just going to hang out here real quick, make sure that everything is checked out and copacetic. My beautiful wife has been battling a cough here all week.
At least it's just a cough.
Yes.
And I'm not full on sick. It's just like a little cold.
Welcome in. We do all things Las Vegas as well as anywhere else we may be. And today we are in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Palm trees everywhere. Humidity everywhere. Bugs everywhere. Lots of bugs. We were feeling them last night, leaving the Marlins game.
Did you get bitten?
Yeah, a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I don't think I've gotten bitten.
Good.
Somehow.
We good to go?
Oh yeah, I checked out.
Oh, okay, good. All right, let's get moving. I'm gonna go up here. And I don't think I can get out over here. But let's see, I want to get on that roadway right there. This is Contour Day Spa, Dr. G's weight loss. Okay. For those on a weight loss journey, I guess. I've never heard of the place. Welcome in. We do all things Vegas, and today we're in South Florida before we fly back this evening. The hotel we were at was doing all sorts of renovations, so... Michael, good morning, buddy. Good morning, 7:20 back in Vegas right now. Well, guys, please check out Vids from Mike, VIDSFROMMIKE. Does some sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos that you do not want to miss. So please check those out. We're going to take, this is 6th Street here, we're going to take this up to Pine Island Road. And back in the day, this was the primo place to be here in Broward, West Broward in here, all of the bedroom communities, as they're called. It is 10:20 Eastern and 7:20 Pacific. 7:20 in Vegas right now. There's probably still people up partying from their night at the casino. They're in Vegas. That's 7:20 in the morning. But a full slate of college football on tap for today, so a lot of folks excited about that for sure. Unfortunately, I won't be able to watch much of that, but that's okay. We'll do our best. We are celebrating my beautiful wife's birthday week. It is a major milestone for her. I'll make this right here. Onto Broward Boulevard. We did the west end of Broward Boulevard before. We're going to do the east end of Broward Boulevard now. Also, please check out my wife Cinnamon's channel. It's Cinnamon and Jupiter here on YouTube. Over here on the left, we have West Broward Governmental Center, so you can go in there and fight your traffic ticket. Over here on Broward Boulevard and Pine Island Road, as well as the Broward County Library West Regional Branch. If we have any European silent watchers, welcome. I was hoping with the early hour here, well, early by my standards, at 10 a.m. here on the East Coast, that we might get some European folks in here. Thank you, Brother Michael. Right on. Oh, we got more red lights. One turns green, the others turn red. How about that? When Men's Warehouse over here on the right. You're going to love the way you look. He guarantees it. I think that's their tagline. Pretty sure that's their tagline. Welcome in. Please like and subscribe. We do all things Vegas as well as anywhere else we are. This is 82nd Avenue. We're going to head eastbound here on Broward Boulevard, which is the major Zero Street. Aaron, welcome. Thank you for being here. Broward Boulevard is the major Zero Street here, separating north from south here in Fort Lauderdale and the cities west of it. Plantation, Davie, Sunrise. We started our trip actually out at the Amaranth Bank Arena. This is University Drive right here, a major north-south artery traveling all the way through Broward and also down into Miami-Dade County. It becomes 27th Avenue down there. I will, Casey. Yes, thank you, Casey. I appreciate you, buddy. El Dorado Parkway, Lakes of Newport. And again, all these areas used to be really, really nice, really primo areas to live in. I haven't been here in 16 years, so I can't say with absolute certainty that that remains the case. You see these bus shelters that they have here that have little roofs over them. And the street lights, I mean, that's another thing, you know, we've talked about that in Vegas, the simple beautification projects that they could use to help dress things up. And they did that here in the city of Plantation. Ashley, welcome from Texas. How are you? Almost 9:30 in Texas right now. So grateful you guys are here. And this is Northwest Southwest 70th Avenue here in Plantation. On the right, you have Plantation Preserve. That's the name of the neighborhood in there. Starboy, I'm a knight, and I love you all. Thank you so much, Starboy. Appreciate that. You can see the little bus shelter there on the right. But just simple things. During the holidays, they used to put up little candy canes along the street lights here in Plantation along Broward Boulevard. $3.05 a gallon for regular unleaded at that Chevron there. Much cheaper than a lot of the other places we've seen, especially Chevrons. Chevrons tend to be on the higher end from our observations. Tropical Way here on the right. So yeah, you had some homes that were built back in the 70s and 80s pretty much in here. And they tend to be larger. But once we go east of the turnpike up here, yeah, I hear you, Ashley. I'm still sluggish myself. Someone is selling something on the other side of the street there. What do they sell? It looks like clothes. For a moment there, I thought we were in East Las Vegas. Fig Tree Lane is this light right here, which is a minor residential arterial between here and Peters Road to the south. Peters Road is also known as Davie Boulevard, east of 441. 3 likes. Can we get to 5, you guys? Let's get to 5 likes. We were on Interstate 95 last night in downtown Miami, a very dangerous section of roadway, and there was a guy on a like a roller, what are those things called? The skateboards, but it was an e-bike version, and it was electric. He was doing 40 miles an hour on the thing, which is scary enough as it is, but he was on the interstate. That was just wild. 297 at the Rocket gas station over there on the other side of the street. Not familiar with Rocket. This is the Florida Turnpike going underneath here. There is no interchange here at Broward Boulevard. Yeah, it's scary enough on I-95 as it is. Try and pull that off on something like that is just downright. Oh, Casey, believe me, I will be singing a happy birthday to her later on.
No, she means, I guess it's her birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday. Oh my, I didn't realize it was your birthday too. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Casey. Happy birthday to you. Congratulations and happy birthday.
Ashley is a first-time mommy to be.
Nice. Welcome to the club. My beautiful wife, Cinnamon and Jupiter. She has blessed me with 2 beautiful boys. And she certainly knows the trials and tribulations that come along with being a first-time mother and a second-time mother. So please check out her channel. Anyone who's interested in astrology and spirituality, that is Cinnamon and Jupiter here on YouTube. Jazzy, welcome. Thank you for being here. This is State Road 7, also known as US Highway 441. It goes by, people call it both names here. On the right here is a Miami Grill, formerly a Miami Subs. But they wanted to expand their menu option. Haven't seen a lot of the Miami Subs here. We saw one in Key West. Over on the right, behind that used to be a shopping center, and that's where I first obtained my Florida driver's license back at age 16. Came out here to Broward Boulevard and 441. The whole shopping center over there has been completely leveled and redone, so it doesn't look anything like it did back then. But you also used to have some pretty good eating spots over here on 441 as well. Dan's Steakhouse and Sweden House used to be here, a Swedish buffet they used to have. And Georgia Pig, which is a barbecue place, is still down there off of 441 and Peters Road / Davie Boulevard. It's about a mile south of here. And there's a banner up there that says Plantation Gateway. And so this is, we're coming into, well, it's unincorporated Fort Lauderdale. I don't believe we've hit the city limits just yet. This is 38th Avenue. Again, the numbers are getting smaller as we continue eastbound. And in the song Girls, Girls, Girls by Motley Crue, they sing about the Dollhouse in Fort Lauderdale, $2.99 a gallon here at this marathon. The Dollhouse was a gentleman's club located right up here at 3200, or the 3200 block of West Broward Boulevard. It was on the other side. It is no longer there anymore, and the building is no longer there anymore. But they sang about it in that song. I think that was, what, 87 or 89? Something like that. Late 80s. The Dollhouse in Fort Lauderdale.
87.
87, there it is. Good job. Jamaica House restaurant over there, $2.99 a gallon at the Mobile. So yeah, it would be right in here what the Popeyes is. That's where it would have been. And it is gone. Long gone. I wonder if the other places are even around from that song nearly 40 years ago. This is 31st Avenue, MLK Jr. Boulevard, or Avenue. A major artery north of here, all the way up into West Palm Beach County. $3.11 a gallon there. Tobin is here. Welcome, Tobin. Thank you for coming in. God, it's early for you. Brother Mike was here almost as soon as we started. So we've got our West Coasters here. Thank you, guys. So this is 27th Avenue. You have a huge public safety building, they call it over here. It's really just the sheriff's office headquarters here on the north side of Broward Boulevard, here at Northwest 27th Avenue. And there's a Wawa here, and then there's a Walmart back behind here. This area in the 80s and 90s was really rough. Really, really rough. So it's surprising to see that they've stepped it up. $3.09 a gallon over there at the racetrack. There used to be a bowling alley. Whoa. The car was telling me to brake. There was a bowling alley over here. It was called Flamingo Lanes over here on the right. just next to the interstate here off of Broward Boulevard. That's long gone now too. And there used to be a little barbershop college right in here. That's where my folks took me to get my haircut because it was cheaper to get it cut in there at the barber college.
Why couldn't they do it themselves?
I know.
That's what I do.
Yep. Yeah, Cinnamon does a fantastic job of cutting our boys' hair. Fort Lauderdale police unit going the other way there. And so, of course, Interstate 95 here, a major interstate arterial highway here. Throughout the eastern seaboard of the United States. Oh, I can't do that either. Hey, Tangel, yeah, so this is the last day. We'll be flying out this evening. Vids from Mike, perfect. Thank you, Tobin. Pickles, honey, and corn dogs, Ashley is craving.
Ooh. Yeah, pregnancy cravings can be weird. I didn't really have cravings either time I was pregnant. I was just hungry a lot. But I don't think I had any weird cravings. Did I? Do you remember?
I don't think so.
No.
No. I would run out and get, like, In-N-Out and stuff. Just to make sure she was eating. Greening Gateways. So this is the entrance to Fort Lauderdale, downtown Fort Lauderdale up ahead. And again, Salvation Army used to be right here on the corner. Now, okay, they moved across the street there on 18th Avenue. $3.19 a gallon there. There's a Days Inn on the right. That place has been there forever. Wow. That place was there in the 80s. And this is the North Fork of the New River right here we're going over. Marine industry, of course, huge here in South Florida. SoFlo Customs. River Highlands Avenue. They've been renaming a lot of numbered streets, slapping names on them. I still know them as the numbered streets. Jack and Jill Children's Center. And then this is Fort Lauderdale Police Department. They are relocating their police department way up north. I don't know why. It's going to be on the other end of town. But there used to be a Talent liquor store right in here, which was in the movie, featured in the movie. It is totally, looks like it's gone now. It was here 2 years ago, but it's gone now. Which was featured in the movie Revenge of the Nerds 2. When they came down here, the nerds came to Fort Lauderdale. That was where they got arrested. And this is southwest 11th Avenue. Again, Broward Boulevard, the Zero Street here through Fort Lauderdale, separating north from south. Over on the left used to be an auto radiator shop. Used to be some good guys working in there. And it is now something else that is closed and moved somewhere else. On the right used to be Dale's Tires, and it's now a Salvation Army. A scooter store over there. And this is 7th Avenue, a major artery here through central Fort Lauderdale. Avenue of the Arts, they have renamed it, but it's always going to be 7th Avenue to me. The Burger King on that corner there, my folks used to take me to. And we would go down to the river, and which was right to the south of here. And we would go have some BK, watching the big yachts go by there on the New River here in downtown Fort Lauderdale. Oh, you're talking, yeah. Yeah, Ashley, it's you'll be fine though. It'll melt right off. It'll come right off.
It's hard when you're in bed and you're at your 8th or 9th month and you're trying to get out of bed and you can't bend forward because then you could like split your abdominal muscles and get diastasis recti, where your abdominals separate from, basically, like they just kind of like separate from each other, and it makes your belly really like jiggly and untoned. And so you have to do a lot of, if you end up getting that, you have to do a lot of ab workouts to pull them back together.
She knows far better than I do. We are, Brother Tobin. Yeah, this is, oh man, I used to spend so many hours down here on my little bicycle. I got robbed down here. They stole my bicycle. In fact, that reminds me, I need to go up here. I'm going to make a left up here at Andrews Avenue because there was something else I wanted to show you guys while I was here, and I totally forgot it, and I'm actually glad you mentioned that, Tobin. So you have a Brickell Avenue here, but it's nothing like the Brickell Avenue in Miami. And again, Revenge of the Nerds, they filmed it down here on First Avenue, right here off to our right. That was where the nerds stayed at the Hotel Coral Essex. If you've ever seen the movie, some of the neon letters didn't work, so it spelled something else that I'm not going to say. This is Andrews Avenue. This used to be a Goodyear repair center over here. It has been closed for a while. Retail for lease. This used to be 4 lanes. What have they done? Is it still 4 lanes? It's hard to tell. So this is 2nd Street, Northeast 2nd Street here. And you can see they're doing the NSU Art Museum. I guess they have a display of the pink islands in Biscayne Bay from back in the 80s. And they have, I guess, pictures and stuff of that at the Nova Southeastern Museum. That building is funky. It's like 3D looking. All of this used to be mom and pop shops. They have taken everything out of here, and it is now condos. But they have the same infrastructure in place that they've had for decades. 4 months. Congratulations, though. That's awesome.
I hope you're doing okay. I hope you might be a little sick right now still. I'm not sure, but I hope if you are that you feel better soon.
So this is Sistrunk Boulevard. This was a very minority occupied area. They have come in here and tried to help clean it up. Right here at 2nd Avenue, right where that guy on the bike is on the other side. That's where I got jumped, and they stole my bicycle right there. Here on Sistrunk and 2nd Avenue.
Sistrunk here is like Nellis in Las Vegas.
But as you can see, it looks like they've done some work. I mean, they have some interesting street lights here, and they have, wow, they have these big multi-story, multi-family condos in here now.
Wouldn't that be wild if they did any of this to Nellis?
So when I talk about beautification and stuff like this, and I know people probably get tired of it, but when I talk about beautification on the east side of this street was extremely high crime in the 80s and 90s, and even into this century. Extremely. And it's amazing. They just keep building and building. Now, of course, they're using private development to do it all. The Cristo Art Project, that's right, yes. Right on, Tobin. They're in 83. Gosh, how long ago? They surrounded the islands in Biscayne Bay with this pink tarp and called it art. I don't know. My sense of art must be off or something. I don't know. And there used to be a liquor store and bar right there on the corner on the left side, where there's now a condo. And very shady, very sketchy little bar in there. It used to be like an old abandoned gas station over on this other corner there. It's just wild. I mean, it's been a joint effort. I mean, clearly with the street lights and stuff, that's a city thing. But the private developers, of course. Now this area in here, this is looking a little more like it used to. Folks giving haircuts on the sides of the road. There's the little convenience store here. Four Corners Food Market, that is still here. And this is 9th Avenue, which becomes Powerline Road on the... That's true, Tobin, absolutely. Yep. Powerline Road, which is a major artery just north of here. 9th Avenue becomes, and it will carry you all the way into West Palm Beach County. So they've taken this side and expanded the sidewalk. This used to be 4 lanes. Oh my. And yeah, okay, so you're starting to see some of the older buildings still in here. So there's still a ton of calls for service in this area, especially down in this stretch. Smitty's, something called Smitty's over there. Looks like a restaurant of some sort. They're at Aldridge. They're going to put in over here. Roy Mizell and Kurtz, a funeral home, it says there. And coming up here to 14th Avenue. But yeah, again, this used to be really high crime. It still is. Fourteenth Way. American Legion. Yeah, this brings back some memories. And so if you're ever trying to find like a shortcut to try and get around traffic, back in the 80s and 90s, you wouldn't use this trunk. I learned that the hard way. Ray's Meat Market over here on the right. And I also had a Walkman on me, and there was a guy sitting there that watched the entire event unfold as they stole my bike from me and beat the crap out of me. And he walked up, he just blithely walked up, grabbed my Walkman off the ground and took it for himself. But I had just bought it and worked really hard for it. So I went up to him and I'm like, can I have my Walkman? Which was probably not the best idea, but the woman sitting next to him, she was like, just give it to him. So yeah, I got my Walkman, but I was then walking back to back home. It was really a rough experience for sure. So we continue now down Sistrunk Boulevard here. And this area in here is known as Dorsey River Bend. Again, a lot of calls for service in here.
Just saw someone with looked like a Rolls Royce Phantom.
Huh. On the left, you have the African American Research Library and Cultural Center. And there's an Exxon here on the corner that has regular unleaded for $2.95. See Broward County Sheriff there. That's because their headquarters is again right up here off of 27th Avenue. And Broward Boulevard. We're now on 27th Avenue. These guys are involved in a lot of high-speed pursuits. More than seem. I mean, maybe it's just because they're all over the internet, but no, it's not, Tobin. Yeah, it was brutal. It was brutal. Hey, school teacher, welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna come back down here. They're still taking off into the west, so winds are still out of the west. That's interesting. I'm gonna come back down here to Broward Boulevard again. Welcome in to anyone just joining. We do all things Las Vegas as well as anywhere else we may be. So please check out and like and subscribe to the channel. Checkers over here, that is part of the Rallies brand of fast food burgers and fries. They have Rallies in Vegas, but Checkers over here on the East Coast. They used to be really good, actually. And then right before I left, I had some Checkers, and it started to go downhill a little bit. But that's typical for so many places, right? When they first open, it's awesome, and then they start to, little by little, change. And that was the case for the Miller's Ale House in Las Vegas, which is a chain here in Florida and Georgia. But they had 2 locations in Vegas, and COVID shut them down. At least that was the excuse they gave. But when they first opened, the food was amazing. Portions were huge. It was awesome. And then, sure enough, slowly over time, they started to shrink your portions, and the food just didn't taste that good anymore. And yeah, it was pretty rough. So back in the 80s, I don't know how many of you are going to remember this. Rogues, welcome. Thank you for being here. Jake, welcome. This is 24th Avenue here. And again, this is where that bowling alley is. We're going to circle back and head over here to Las Olas. Thank you so much, Jake, and school teacher. There's one thing I'm hoping to keep from friends and family. What's that, Ashley, if I may ask? This is Florida. Yes, Rogues. This is Fort Lauderdale. And we're approaching, again, downtown Fort Lauderdale. We just went up Sistrunk Boulevard. Riverbend Corporate Park over here on the left. Again, there used to be a Zare. For anyone that remembers Zare, it was right here off of 24th Avenue off to our left. Zare was a department store like Kmart and now Walmart. India, welcome, Prakesh. And it closed like back, I want to say around 1990 or something. But it was like the only department store we really had. I grew up right over here in the neighborhood off to the right up here on the east side of I-95 by Stranahan High School. So I used to ride my little bicycle all over the place, all over down here. Thank you, Rogues. Thank you so much. Greening gateways. Well, they can't really green gateways in Vegas because, well, wait a minute. What about all those new neighborhoods going up in Summerlin? They're greening those ones. And again, downtown Fort Lauderdale there, ahead of us, as we come up to the light here at Interstate 95. We're at 10 likes. Thank you, you guys. Appreciate you guys so much. It's so weird to look down and see, I see 1050 for the time, and I think to myself, okay, so the early games for college football are at least probably at halftime. Yes, Eric, I definitely, thank you. And I have to remind myself, nope, they don't start till noon here on the East Coast. It's pretty wild to get used to. 319 again over there at that marathon. No excuses, buckle up, it says there. And so you see the big radio tower there for Fort Lauderdale Police and the police department. But again, they're abandoning that long time headquarters of theirs. So guys, please check out Tobin's channel. Tobin has an awesome channel with some terrific stories about his concert going days, as well as a festival he attended in Olympia, Washington last weekend. And also, please throw a like and subscribe to Josh702, does some terrific content in Vegas. And I'll just say that Josh loves music, especially rock and roll. Very cool stuff. Awesome. Thank you, Tobin and Josh. You'll be by yourself this weekend. Is that a good thing, Ashley? I don't know. Chen's Garden carry out and delivery over there on the right. Golf carts for sale. There used to be a little bar here where that golf cart place is now. Well, for a long time. And there used to be a gas station, and it still looks like a gas station there, and it's still vacant. So the original fort, named Fort Lauderdale, was located down here off of 9th Avenue on the river. At the 9th Avenue here on our right dead ends at the river, and that's where the original Fort Lauderdale was located. But there's nothing to see there now. There's just homes there. We went by that spot earlier this week. But yeah, look at this. Downtown, they're just building up condos like crazy. And there's no infrastructure. I mean, it's the same infrastructure they've had for eons. It's just wild. At the hospital. Okay, cool. Heat, welcome. Yeah, you guys have had a good weekend so far. Eagles won Thursday night. Cinnamon and I attended the Marlins game last night, which ended up in a disaster for the home team. 9-3. The Marlins lost to the Phillies. The, what would that be, bluish building there on the left, up ahead, on the corner, it's on the corner of Broward, Boulevard, and Andrews Avenue. It used to be a Barnett Bank building way back when, for anyone that remembers Barnett Bank. It's now West Marine, again, the marine industry, huge here. So they must occupy a good chunk of that building in order to have their name up top. And I thought I saw some West Marine facilities, Bernie's, whatever that is, snacks, flour, edibles, okay. And this used to be a bank right here on the right. I thought I saw some West Marine locations in Vegas. Maybe I was dreaming that.
I've never seen that before.
On the right here, just past Andrews Avenue, where it says ABBA Centers, that building there used to be a NCCB bank building way back, for anyone that remembers NCCB. And in fact, I worked in there, had a job in there for a few months. Broward College, Florida Atlantic University, over off to the right here. We're gonna actually go make a right. That's a good idea, Ashley. Yeah, definitely stay out of the heat. It's been brutal for everyone. So we're gonna go over here. This is US 1, which again travels up, parallels pretty much Interstate 95. Most of the way it's east of I-95. Sometimes it ends up west of I-95, but they both parallel and go from Miami all the way up the eastern seaboard to Maine. And so this is the tunnel here under the new river, but we're going to go to the right and go show you down Las Olas Boulevard here. Used to be able to turn directly into the tunnel from here, from 2nd Street, but that is no longer the case. And you see the cranes up there. They just keep building and building. Over on the left is the Riverside Hotel. That has been here for a very, very long time. Riverside Hotel. And we did a live walk stream here the other night. We went to American Social restaurant down here.
I guess I have them all over Florida.
Oh, okay.
It's a chain.
Huh. So up here on the right, for as long as I can show it to you, I want to show you this building right here. This is known as the Stranahan House. Back there behind the trees. That building was the very first house, and it was actually a hotel here on the new river. The river's right on the other back side of the house there. And it was the very first house built, at least that's what they say here, in Fort Lauderdale. And so it became a major trading post and center for commerce for folks going up and down the river. So definite history there at the Stranahan House. So we can come back up here to Las Olas Boulevard. And so now we'll make a right here onto Las Olas. And go eastbound. And this is the world famous Las Olas shopping district in here. Big City Tavern over here on our left. And there's the original Riverside Hotel, but they've built up over on the other side there on the right. Easy Street, Kentucky, welcome. Destin, yes, up there in the Panhandle, nice. Very cool. Very cool. And then over here on the left you have Voodoo Bayou. And then the American Social's right there on the corner on the left side. Something called 60 Vines. Over on the right here used to have something called Games Imported. It had some really, really cool stuff that we kids loved seeing back in the day. Really, really awesome. And couldn't afford, but we would go in there and mess around. Get kicked out eventually. But it's long gone. But Las Olas, this shopping area here on Las Olas has been here for as long as I can remember. So it's always been like this. Tony Teresi, welcome. Please throw a like and subscribe to Tony Teresi, our brother from down under. He does some awesome videos from down in Queensland, Australia. But yeah, just a lot of little bars and restaurants and shops and stuff in here. In fact, Cinnamon went into one of the stores here, over here right on the right.
Lulifama. I'm wearing a Lulifama dress today.
Yes, she is. Second breakfast. Okay, cool. Amaranth Bank here. Okay, so it's the bank that has the name slapped on. Oh, easy there, buddy. Where are you going? On the Florida Panthers arena, Florida Panthers hockey arena. The two-time champion Florida Panthers. Jen Korean Barbecue House over there on the left. And again, when we left, there was a string of showers and thunderstorms right off the coast, and you can see that the dark clouds from that hanging, just threatening all of us here. But back in the day, so that was downtown, and this area in here was all swampland. So the Army Corps of Engineers came in here and built essentially a dirt road, and they dredged everything around here, creating what is the modern day Venice of America, as it's known, Fort Lauderdale. 1 a.m. Oh my goodness. 7-Eleven over here. Oh, that's been here forever too.
There you go, Tobin.
Yep.
Now we need to know how many 7-Elevens there are in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, Michael, thank you. That's awesome.
Oh, Josh got to it.
Thank you, Josh. So this is why it's known as the Venice of America. And we did a drive down here, so you can check that out in our video library. We did a drive down here a few days ago, and just the homes. Josh was with us for that stream. The homes down here, absolutely amazing. On these finger aisles, all up and down Las Olas Boulevard. And again, if you're brand new, welcome. Please like and subscribe. Really appreciate you guys being here on this Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, as we cruise down Las Olas Boulevard and the Las Olas Isles. Yeah, so the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers came in here. Oh, there's a lunch truck on a Saturday. They're taking my route. I used to run a lunch truck in here, and got into some battles with some other drivers back in the 90s because they claimed that this was their turf, and I'm like, no, I have a license to operate in the city and the county, so everything's fine. But some of them are pretty violent, so more good times here. That was one of the reasons I wanted to leave South Florida. It was just, it's very, very dog eat dog. And that's kind of how New York City is. And of course, so many people from down here are from the Northeast. And that's not to say that the people from New York are terrible. But Florida in the 90s, it was fun. But everyone moves down here and they think that it's going to be sun and fun all day on the beach. And it's not. Especially if you live in the interior, in one of the suburbs, the bedroom communities, you're a long way from the beach, and it takes a long time to get to the beach, unfortunately. So unless you're rich or retired, yeah, Florida's a grind, for sure. And then now we're crossing the Intracoastal Waterway here.
Tell us about the time when Gianni Versace lived on South Beach.
Yeah, so Gianni Versace, we just drove by there yesterday. In fact, I forgot to mention that as we drove by it. Shoot.
Oh, yeah, the Versace mansion.
Yeah, so back in the 90s, there was Versace had a lover, and there was some falling out that he had with his lover. Andrew Cunanan, his name was.
Well, I don't know if they were really involved.
Okay.
I think he was just obsessed with him.
Maybe
I don't
that's what it
really
was.
think they knew each other.
So Cunanan unalived Gianni Versace and then went hiding. And there was a big thing on the news back then. I mean, it was like every 5 seconds, has Andrew Cunanan been spotted? And so everyone's glued to the TV for that. And they finally found him. I think he was in a boat hiding somewhere or something. Another 7-Eleven over here on the right. That one's been here a long time. So this used to be the Fort Lauderdale Strip. And back in the 80s, this was 4 lanes. But because the city leaders back then said, we're done with spring breakers and we're done with... You remember that? Okay, cool. Toby, yeah. So because the city came along and said, we're done with spring breakers and we're done with all the problems they bring, they decided that they were going to split up A1A here along the strip section, as it's known, and create separate north and southbound lanes. So that occurred right around the time I got my driver's license and got my first car. But before that, we all just used to go cruising up and down the strip back and forth. And they had no cruising laws and stuff like that, right? So, oh, another Fulton County plate in front of us. Atlanta, Georgia. Shout out to Tobin. And we would just go round and round looking for girls and cars next to us. There is the Atlantic Ocean right there in front of us. And we'll go ahead and go here. And you can see the freighters offshore there waiting for a tug to bring them into Port Everglades over here. Lots of lightning, wow. Man, I'm sorry I missed that. We never get to see that out there. So this is the world-famous Fort Lauderdale Strip here on A1A. Big giant chair there on the right for photo ops. And again, back in the 80s, spring break, they used to have like wet t-shirt contests and everything at all these little beachfront bars. And it was, yeah, we teenagers, we really loved trying to catch glimpses of the wet t-shirt contests. And all that they would hold. We had places like the Candy Store, Penrod's on the beach. Oh, goodness. There's one right now that's still in existence right here, and that's the Elbow Room, spelled without the W. Right up here on the corner of Las Olas and A1A. And that was featured in the 1960 film, Where the Boys Are, with Connie Francis. Oh, so it must have been far off then, Josh, huh? The lightning, if you couldn't hear it. And they've got some sort of little fair or something set up over here on the left. There's all sorts of people selling different items over here on the left.
I think they do like a farmer's market every weekend.
Oh, okay. Elbow Room right here on the left. Very popular. Hugely popular. It's amazing. It's a cash-only bar. So it's amazing it stayed in existence for this long, even here in the 2025 as a cash bar. Something called Rock Bar over there. But again, this is where Penrod's and the Candy Store and Summers on the Beach, that was the other one. They all used to occupy this spot right in here. And you still see some remnants of some of the old mom and pop motels here on the beach. Over here on the left is Beach Place. This place was built back in the 90s. It houses a Taco Bell cantina, as well as it had a Hooters, but it looks like Hooters is open actually. So maybe not all of them are closed. Something called Con Murphy's Ocean Bar and Grill, Lulu's Bait Shack in there. Endless happy hour, it says. All day crappy hour at Dick's Last Resort up there on the 3rd floor. We all know Dick's Last Resort. Coconut water acai. And then beachfront parking here. Or Beach Place parking. And we'll cruise around one more time. We were going to go to one of the malls here, and I want to take some video of it before they're talking about closing it down. So,
What?
remember I told you? Because business is down, and they're talking about closing it down and selling it to developers.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I love that mall.
Yeah, I took Cinnamon to it 2 years ago when we were here.
That mall smells like cinnamon. I love that mall.
Yeah.
Because it smells like me.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw Ms. Toon. She captured some Metro cops acting very strangely there last night. Were they professional? I'll leave that to you to decide. Down on Fremont Street. I don't know what time that was, but I imagine it had to be pretty late. Silver Seas Resort, 101 North Atlantic Boulevard. This is not, or Atlantic Avenue. That's not a resort. And again, Ritz-Carlton right here on the backside of Beach Place. Let's see what they charge for parking over here. We are cruising down the beach here in Fort Lauderdale. 0 to 1 hour, $10. 2 hours, $20. So it's pretty much $10 an hour to park here at Beach Place on Fort Lauderdale Beach. 18 likes. Thank you guys. Can we get the 20? Cortez Street. And again, yeah, we just used to cruise and go round and round in circles here. I won't subject you guys to that, but and it's nothing like it was back in those days in the 80s and 90s. And back then, that was when people started to put neon under their cars, neon lights. And so the cops had a field day with that, right? Because they made it very clear. You can only have amber on the front half of the car, amber lights. And yeah, sideways lights, yep. And you can only have red on the rear portion of the car, and that's it. But of course, people had purple and green and blue and all sorts of other neon lights underneath. So the cops would be down here writing tickets left and right. And they had anti-cruising laws as well. So they would look and they would monitor the license plates. And if they saw the same license plate twice within like a 15-minute span or 30-minute span or something, they'd pull them over and write them a ticket for cruising. How those tickets did in court, I'm not sure. But they definitely had the desired effect. They modified behavior. People stopped coming down here. And then you also had Riverfront, which opened up downtown Fort Lauderdale, which was a 3-story dining and entertainment complex as well. And that siphoned a lot of the folks that would come down here. And plus a lot of us just kind of, grew up, turned 21 or whatever. And so we were like, all right, yeah, cruising the strip did, okay. Yeah, sideways lights. My folks always used to complain. They would say that when a hurricane comes through here, that the winds will just twist those sideways traffic lights, twist them right up out of the ground, and send them flying. Haven't seen that happen yet. This used to be actually a really cool bar here on the left, in between the north and southbound lanes here at the south end. It's now called Bo's Beach, B-O. And they're showing some sports in there. So yeah, it's pretty much a beachfront bar there. And then back behind me are the basketball courts here on the beach. They've been there forever, but the city made a deal with the developer to come in and take down the developer wants to take down the basketball courts and replace them with a pickleball court because they want to develop all that land, Bahia Mar across the street, into this multi-billion-dollar whatever. Well, there are a lot of people that are crying racism and everything else because they want to move the basketball courts. So that's kind of a thing going on down here. There's the little farmer's market / craft fair, maybe, there on the left. Permanent jewelry, gold and silver. Accessory bar, sterling silver. Vintage to new, fresh coconut water. Saucy taco. And then, yep, they do have the farmer's market. They have fresh smoothies, fresh cut fruit down here. So this land here on the left, where they're holding this little farmer's market, way back in the day used to be a Holiday Inn. And that used to feature a lot of spring breakers and stuff, all hanging out of the windows and yes, doing dumb things. And then they demolished that, replaced it with a parking lot, and then now they've replaced the parking lot with a park here. But again, there's the world famous Elbow Room right there on the left side. And it's a dive, total dive, but it is very well loved by a lot of folks. And they have live streams on YouTube. Brina, welcome. Good morning. Thank you for being here. We're on Fort Lauderdale Beach, State Road A1A, also known as Alternate Route 1A. The salty sombrero there on the left. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner over here at, I don't know what that's called, Cafe Del Mar. And there's Beach Place again, with its collection of shops and restaurants. Fort Lickerdale on the beach. That was the nickname that was, of course, assigned back during the spring break days. Fort Lickerdale. No, Josh, actually it doesn't. It's packed in there. If you look at like probably about 6 p.m. on the weekend, our time in Vegas, 9 p.m. here, it's packed in there on their webcams. It's pretty amazing that it's still rocking after all these years. And again, cash only. Casablanca Cafe over there on the left. So the way back in the day during the spring break days, you used to have on-street parking right here on the beach. It was slant in. But then as part of that whole, let's go ahead and scare the spring breakers away, they replaced all of the on-street parking here on the beach side on the right with this wall. The wall had some sort of fiber optic whatever back then, and it was supposed to change colors and be all cool. Of course, the light never worked. What that is sticking up out of the road. You see the lifeguard stands with the green flag up, meaning it's totally cool to come out and go swimming. And the water does look pretty flat out there. Almost glassy out there. So we come up here to Terramar Street. This was where my beautiful wife, Cinnamon, when we came here a couple years ago, gave me the best birthday present I'd ever had. An airplane flying a banner saying, "Happy birthday, Donnie Don," which is kind of a name that my friends gave me back in the day. The Atlantic Hotel over here on the left. She's a sweetheart. I love you, babe.
This is the quieter side of the beach.
Yes, up here, the north end.
Mm-hmm.
And there's still a huge chunk of land up here that is used as a state park, miraculously. The city hasn't given it to the developers just yet. But we'll see. The city commission that they have in place right now, it's pretty pro-development. They are hugely pro-development. Of course, they don't say that out loud, but you can tell by what they're just rubber stamping everything. And there's no more land because we're stuck in between, not we, because I don't live here anymore, but they're stuck between the beach and the Everglades. So there's no more land to build anything. So what are they doing? They're building up. And that's why you see all these huge high-rises all over the place. Bonnet House, that's what it's called over here on the left. And that's still sort of all natural Florida over there on the left that you would see if you were just to come up on the shore here back in the 1600s. It's pretty cool that, again, the developers haven't gotten a hold of it. We're going to go up here to 9th Street, and I'm going to make a left on our way to the mall, because I want to show you another remnant of old Florida right here. These bars are still here, still going. These used to be packed right here at the north end back in the day. And there used to be a Parrot Lounge, parrot like the bird, and the Parrot Lounge used to run a bus up and down A1A, trying to ferry people from the beach off to their bar up here on the north end. That Porsche. It's like, oh, people are checking out my car. I gotta give them a show. And so this is Sunrise Lane right here. And the world famous Parrot Lounge still here on the left hand side. It's closed right now, but it's still here. And they're still going. Very cool stuff. Oh, this semi's moving. Let's get out in front of it. Tattoo Blues, it says. Okay, he's moving along now. Splish Splash Bikini. Okay, dude, go ahead. I guess you're just moving up there. Okay. So we're gonna go up here, and we're gonna make a U-turn up here. This is Sunrise Boulevard, the eastern terminus of Sunrise Boulevard here at the beach in Fort Lauderdale. 22 likes, thank you, you guys. Can we get to 25? Increase the tax base, exactly. Yep, money, money, money. And guys, please check out Vids from Mike, VIDSFROMMIKE. Does some sensational sunrise and sunset drone videos, as well as Tobin's channel has some awesome stories about his concert going days back in the 70s with some legends in music, as well as Josh 702, who does some terrific Vegas content and loves rock and roll as well. And Tony Teresi, if Tony's still here, please check out Tony, our brother from down under in Australia. Very cool people, awesome channels, and of course, my beautiful wife and her channel, Cinnamon and Jupiter. She does astrology and spirituality. And even if that's not your thing, if you could still like and subscribe, it would really mean a ton to us as we try and get her channel off the ground and established here. I'm gonna make this U-turn here. Hugh Taylor Birch State Park. Again, it's a miracle that it's still here. And they haven't taken out, that's a lot of primo land right there, right across the street from the beach. And in Fort Lauderdale Beach right here, this is one of the few rare areas where you're actually driving right next, you can see the beach. Most of Florida, you have to try and peek in between the condos that are located between the roadway and the beach. So this is the Intracoastal Waterway again. That's a good question, Eric. Gallery 1 right here on the left. And these big, massive mega yachts they have over here off to the right. It's just wild. So this on the left is the Galleria Mall that we just spoke about. That there have been whispers about them coming in and taking it over and selling it and demolishing it. It was first the Sunrise Shopping Center, and then they turned it into a mall. See Blue Martini over there. Their location in Vegas just moved, or is in the process of moving up to Cosmopolitan. P.F. Chang's Capitol Grill over here as we approach Bayview Drive. I went to Fort Lauderdale High School myself, so used to come up here and meet up with people and just wander the mall. We couldn't buy anything, but...
Now, is that the Macy's that used to be Burdines?
Yep. So Macy's bought Burdines. Burdines, B-U-R-D-I-N-E-S. Burdines was a hugely popular, very well-loved retailer here in Florida. And people were very upset when Macy's came in and took over Burdines. Burdines billed itself as the Florida store. And so, it was something that was synonymous with Florida. And of course, Macy's is not. It's more synonymous with New York. But, people were very upset. And there's still people, I still see people in certain online chats and stuff that say, you'll never be Burdines. Jenny, Island Jenny, welcome. We're in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Off of Sunrise Boulevard. So we're going to go up here to Middle River Drive. Back in the 90s, this building here on the left, they built it. That was back when I had my lunch truck. Used to come in here on Saturdays and clean up. Used to sell everything I had back on my lunch truck back then. They had construction crews out here, and my competitors wouldn't run on Saturdays. But it was a Borders bookstore, and it is now a CVS. So we're going to go here into the parking garage here at Galleria Mall. And guys, I want to thank you all so very, very much for joining us. We really appreciate and love all of you, especially for joining us at this early hour. We will be live streaming again once we leave the mall. We want to get some footage of it. Hopefully they don't tear it down, but I want to get some footage of it just in case that happens. Because I don't live here and I can't come and say goodbye to it in the event that that happens. The developers again drooling over this plot of land that this mall sits upon. And of course, as we know, malls in America are hurting right now. But as always, thank you guys so very, very much. We really appreciate all of you. Please like and subscribe. And as always, remember here on the Vegas Don channel, it is the journey where what happens in Vegas and in America stay right here on the Vegas Don channel on YouTube. We'll see you very soon, you guys. Thank you.